Hello everyone, welcome to the EduBay. So, in today's session, this is part 2 of your basic mathematics series, which is for your JEE, your NEET, not for your NEET physics, I would say, JEE, NEET physics, which is also for your respective school exams, for your boards, and very, very important for examinations like SAT, CLAT, NDA, etc., in which you have a section called as Math Aptitude. In Math Aptitude, basic fundamentals of mathematics and the concepts are tested, in which straight lines, equations of lines, slopes of lines, angle between lines are very, very important topics. This is one of the most important topic as well. For JEE, this will be a concept refresher only because we will be taking the basics. Because for the other exams, which this video is more dedicated on, like for physics, the basic mathematics requirements, for SAT and CLAT, you just need this level, it's sufficient. Okay, all the concepts and questions on the concepts will also be covered. After that, if you need another separate video for more questions, you can comment on that, but a lot of sufficient questions on every concept we will be taking here. Okay, let's begin. And for all the concepts and notes which I have taken for the presentation, I have done it using the NCERT. So these are all your lines of the NCERT. You can go and read it, download it online, whatever you want to do, and you will be able to get these. Okay, so now without much ado, let's begin the session. Let's begin. So before we move to the slope of the line, that's the first concept. Whenever we talk about a straight line, we get this kind of a figure in mind. Okay, you can see this kind of a figure, this figure. These are all straight lines, different directions, different types of straight lines. What is a straight line? There are many definitions you have in your Google, NCERT, everywhere. So just find the definition which praises you the most and comment it. So this is a DIY for you, do it yourself. You can find out the most pleasing definition to you for what is a straight line. There are thousands of definitions to define it. Okay, I have mine too, which I'll be sharing with you shortly. Alright, okay. So the first concept now let's move to is slope of a line. So whenever again I repeat, I'm talking about a line, I have my coordinate system. Okay, because everything related to straight lines is done in your coordinate system only. So whenever I have a line, I have a coordinate system like this, and here I have a line. Okay, suppose this is my line. Alright, now when we talk about the slope of a line, it is also called inclination of a line. And tan theta, if theta is the inclination means angle made between the line and the positive x-axis, tan theta is called slope or gradient of the line. Try to understand this from this image. Suppose I have a straight line which has an angle theta with the positive x-axis. That means the x-axis towards the right hand side. Everything we'll be doing here will be with reference to the positive x-axis only. Okay, so this is my theta, angle made by the line with the positive x-axis. What is the slope of this? The line, the slope of the line is denoted by m. Slope is denoted by m, is your tan theta. This is your slope. Alright, so if theta is the angle made by the line with the positive direction of the x-axis, angle, the tan of that angle, tan theta, is the slope of the line. Okay, let's try to understand another case here. Suppose in this coordinate system, okay, another coordinate system I'm taking. Suppose here you have this line again. Just a second. Yeah, you have this line and it is making an angle of theta here. It is making an angle of theta here. So what is the slope? This theta will not be taking this theta. The angle which we need to take for the slope is this theta. Okay, this angle we have to take for slope. Okay, let's name it something else. Let's call it phi. Okay, because we have called the first one as theta, so let this be phi. The slope in this case will be tan phi. Okay, because the angle which we will be taking for reference to the slope will only be the angle with the positive x-axis, none other angle. Now how do you find phi? You can see this angle, this total angle, this is a 90-degree angle between two axes. This whole angle is 90 degree, and I have theta here, so this phi will be what? The phi will be simply 90 minus theta. Okay, because the total angle between the two axes is 90 degree and theta is here, so phi, this one, will become 90 minus theta. So what my slope will now be? Tan 90 minus theta, which is simply your cot theta. That's it. That's what I wanted to make you understand. If the inclination with the y-axis is given, the slope is cot theta, theta, not tan theta. Why? Because we will only be taking the angle made with the positive x-axis. If angle with the y-axis or a total angle with the axis is given, then you just have to do a simple thing, that you need to find this angle in terms of the other angles. Another case let's take. Okay, because I'll be covering all the basics that you need for this chapter. Alright, now suppose here now I have, okay, just a second, I have to select the line part. Yeah, I have this line. Okay, this line. Now this line is making an angle of phi here, and I have to find the slope. Okay, now the slope, for the slope I just need to take this angle, which is the angle made between the line and the positive x-axis theta, but I don't have theta here, I just have phi, which is the angle made by this line with the other part of the x-axis. So what do? Simply imagine your linear pair, your geometrical figure like this. If I have this, a line, a parallel or a straight line which is intersecting two lines, like it's intersecting a line here, the total angle made by a straight line is 180. This whole angle which is made by a straight line is 180 degree. So if my phi is here, what will be the theta? This will be 180 minus phi. So simply the slope here, the slope in this case is your tan theta, which is tan 180 minus phi. That's your answer, whatever this will come out to be. Okay, so the main thing, again I would repeat, you will just take the angle with the positive x-axis. If any other small angle is given here, you will take 90 minus. If the whole angle is given, you will take 180 minus. Remember your linear pair here. Okay, simple thing. So this is how you get the slope of a line, and we denote the slope of a line by m. So if theta is the inclination of line, and then tan theta is called the slope, or it is also called the gradient of the line. The slope of a line whose theta is 90 degree is not defined. Let's understand this. Why? Because slope is tan 90, tan theta, and tan 90 is not defined. Okay, tan 90 is not defined, and that's why the slope of a line whose inclination is 90 degrees is not defined. So for example, now let's take a specific case from here. This is my y-axis, and this is my x-axis. This is y, this is x. I have to take the slope of y-axis. Now y-axis is making a 90 degree angle with the x-axis, 90 degree. So that's why y-axis, your slope is not defined, because slope of any line will be the line angle it makes with the positive x-axis. For y-axis, the angle it is making with the x-axis is 90 degree. So what will be the slope? Tan 90, tan 90 is not defined, so it's not defined. Simple. Slope is tan theta. Now the slope of x-axis is 0. Again, same understanding. What will a line make an angle with itself? 0. X-axis will make a 0 degree angle with x-axis, and tan 0 is 0. Tan 0 is 0. So your slope of x-axis is 0. Okay. So the simple logic behind this. Is we have to take the angle between that line and the positive x-axis, no matter what kind of a line it is, no matter if it is the x-axis itself or the y-axis. That's how you will find. Okay, so that was the first concept, slope of a line. Now next part, slope of a line through 2 points. Now whenever you have to find the slope of a line through 2 points, suppose I have a line here. Okay, the first form we did was slope of a line through 1 point, that was tan theta, the angle between the x-axis. There is another way to find that as well, which we will be doing after we learn the equations of lines. Now suppose there is a line which is passing through points P, x comma y, and points Q, x2 comma y2. So this will take x1 and y1. Okay, coordinate geometry I have already done in the first session of this series. Okay, so you can watch your coordinate geometry, distance formula, section formula, everything is done there. Now the slope of this line which is passing through 2 points, the slope of this line which is passing through 2 points will be given as y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Okay, the slope of any line always is tan theta. The tan theta value here in this case when the line is passing through 2 points can be written as y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. So this is your specific case. Okay, now whenever again suppose a graphical representation of a line is given, let's take an example here. This is a graph which is given and I am taking a line here which is passing through 2 points. Not a graph, I need a line. Okay, this line. Now this is passing through any 2 points. We'll take on this line if I have to find the slope. Okay, any 2 points we'll take. Suppose I take this point A and I take this point B. At both the points I will find out the x and y coordinate respectively. This suppose I will take x1 y1, this I will take x2 y2. Okay, and the slope will be y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. That's the thing. Okay, that's the thing. The slope will be y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Now why has this formula come? Let's take a quick look at this as well. Okay, so that you will understand the logic which is behind this formula. Now the logic behind this formula is very simple. Okay, again we'll take an example of a line. I'll take it with black color like this. Okay, now this slope of this line obviously will be tan theta. Slope is going to be tan theta. This is universal, always the slope will be tan theta. Now let us find out tan theta here. What is tan theta? Tan theta is your perpendicular upon base. Okay, so let's just draw a perpendicular from this line because we have to find the tan theta, so we'll draw a perpendicular from this line. Now what is the understand? Now I take 2 points yx, this is your x1, sorry x2 y2, and this point may be your x1 y1. Okay, 2 points. Now what is the perpendicular going to be? What is the perpendicular going to be here? The perpendicular will be a subtraction of the y coordinates. The perpendicular is on the y-axis, along the y-axis, so it will be basically the subtraction of the y coordinates. This is going to be y2 minus y1, the perpendicular. This is my perpendicular P, and this is my base. Okay, base is where the angle is made. Now when I am going to take, sorry, not this is not my base, this is the hypotenuse, I'm so sorry. The base is this one. This one is my base. Okay, and here how to find the base? This is suppose your x1, this suppose your x2. x2 minus x1 will be your base. So what is tan theta going to be? Is equal to P by B is equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, and that is how you get the slope. Okay, because tan theta is perpendicular upon base, slope always is tan theta. And how to get the value of tan theta here? y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, because that is perpendicular by base, and through the graphical representation we understand why this is y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. It can be y1 minus y2 upon x1 minus x2 as well. Okay, it is your choice which one you take as y1, y2, which one you take as x1, x2. That's it. Question. Find the slope of a line which passes through the origin and the midpoint of the line segment joining the points P and B. Okay, so if I have the line segment PB, you know that I can write the PB as 0, minus 4 and your B is 8, 0. I have to find the midpoint first. Let me find the midpoint first. This I can write A. So A is your midpoint. Okay, and let me write it as x1, y1. This is my midpoint. Now in coordinate geometry we discussed the formula of midpoint of a line is x1 plus x2 by 2. This is your x coordinate, comma y1 plus y2 by 2. This is your y coordinate. Okay, So let's find out the midpoint here. x1 plus x2. x1 plus x2 will be 8 plus 0. That is 8 by 2, which is going to be your 4. Okay. y1 plus y2. 0 plus minus 4. That is minus 4 by 2. That is minus 2. So your midpoint of the line here is your 4 comma minus 2. And the other point which is given is your origin. Origin is 0 comma 0. Okay. So slope of the line definitely will be y2 minus y1, 2-point form, upon x2 minus x1. So this is going to be, we can take anything as y1 and y2. Let's take this one as 2, this one as 1. So 4 minus 0 upon minus 2 minus 0. So this is 4 upon minus 2, minus 4 by 2, which is minus 2. That is your slope. Okay. That is your slope of the line. Okay, 2-point form, y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1 is your slope. Another thing to be remembered, sometimes from this question only they can also ask the angle of the line, angle of inclination, the angle between the x-axis and the line. You already know that the slope is equal to tan theta. So that means tan theta is equal to minus 2. What is theta? Tan inverse minus 2. Whenever a trigonometric function goes from one side to the other, it becomes an inverse trigonometric function, and that's your answer. You don't need to evaluate this. Okay. Slope of a line always is tan theta. So whenever angle is asked, first find the slope and then you put tan theta is equal to the slope, and from that you get the angle. Okay. That's how you will get this as well. So this was the question on 2-point form. Alright. Next, very important. Slope of parallel and perpendicular lines. First thing, any two non-vertical lines L1 and L2 are parallel if and only if their slopes are equal. So if lines are parallel, we have to find the slopes are equal. That means M1 is equal to M2. If the condition M1 is equal to M2 is satisfied, then we can say the lines are parallel. Okay, M1 is equal to M2. Understand again, let's understand it graphically. Okay. So I have a line this, I have a line this, and I have a line L2 this. Okay. If they are parallel, definitely we know if they are going to be parallel lines, the angles they will be subtending, the theta they will be subtending with the axis will definitely be same. They will be at the same inclination if they are parallel. And if theta is same, then obviously tan theta will also be same, because we are just talking about the first quadrant, and that's why their slopes are same. Okay. So what did we understand? Two lines are parallel only and only if their inclination, the angle they make with the axis, and their slope is same. Okay. Let me just erase this. Alright. Now next case, two non-vertical lines are perpendicular to each other only and only if their slopes are negative reciprocals of each other. Negative reciprocals of each other. So what does this mean? If the slope of line L1 is equal to M1 and if the slope of the line L2 is equal to M2, negative reciprocal means M2 will be equal to minus 1 upon M1. It is a reciprocal and it's a negative. Okay. So M2 is minus 1 upon M1. From this, another more important condition, just take the M1 on the other side. What will you get? M1 cross M2 is minus 1, or basically M1, M2, the product of the slopes is minus 1. That's the main thing. So if two lines are perpendicular to each other like this, their slopes are negative reciprocals of each other. That means M2 is equal to minus 1 upon M1, or M1, M2 is equal to minus 1. Negative number 1 is minus and reciprocal is 1 upon. So M2, if the first line slope is, the reciprocal will be 1 upon M1. Okay, the negative reciprocal 1 upon M1 will be M2 with a negative sign, because we are talking about negative reciprocal. The condition more used in the questions is this: M1, M2 is minus 1. So multiply the slopes, you will get minus 1. Why? Because M2 is minus 1 upon M1. Take M1 on the other side, M1, M2 is minus 1. Then the lines are perpendicular. If M1 is equal to M2, then the lines are parallel. Okay, very important condition. Okay, I'll show it to you like this. You can see. Question. Okay, that's an example from the NCERT only. Line through the points minus 2, 6 and 4, 8 is perpendicular to the line through the points this and this. Find the value of x. Okay, so condition of perpendicularity is given in the question. You know perpendicular means m1 m2 is equal to minus 1 or m2 is equal to minus 1 upon m1. That's what we have to find. So first let's find the slope. 2 points are given, so you can find the slopes using 2-point form. So let's find m1, y2 minus y1, that is 8 minus 6, that is 2 upon x2 minus x1, 4 minus minus 2, 4 plus 2. 4 minus minus 2 is 4 plus 2, that is 6. So 2 by 6, that is 1 by 3. Now talking about m2, y2 minus y1, 24 minus 12, that is 12 upon x minus 8, x2 minus x1. So 24 minus 12 is 12 upon x minus 8. So now m2 is minus 1 upon m1, so 12 upon x minus 8 is equal to reciprocal of this, and that is going to be 3 with a negative sign, minus 3. Okay, because minus 1 upon n1 we have to take. No, m1 is 1 by 3, so 1 upon n1 is 3 and minus 1 upon m1 is minus 3. So 12 is equal to minus 3 into x minus 8. We can cancel this out. This will be 4. So 4 is equal to, this is a 4. So 4 is equal to 8 minus x. Minus of x minus 8 is 8 minus x. So 4 plus x is equal to 8. So x is equal to 8 minus 4. X is equal to 4. Okay. X is equal to 4 will be your answer. You can verify here as well. Put x is equal to 4 here. So this is going to be 12 upon 4 minus 8. That is going to be minus 4. Okay. Which is going to be minus 3. And that is what we need to find. Minus 3. Okay. Clear? So the value of x for which the lines are perpendicular will be 4. Reason for perpendicular lines, slopes are negative reciprocals. m2 is minus 1 upon m1. That's it. Okay, now we move to general equation of line. Remembering this general equation of line is very simple. Understand, line is anything, just a linear expression. Linear equation means a linear expression and line is linear. Okay, so the equation of line in general form is just like your equation of a linear equation. Ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. That's the general equation. And another important condition is a and b are not 0. Okay, a and b are not 0. Obviously, otherwise this form is not valid. Okay, so let me again write it here. The equation is ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, where a and b are non-zero and they are called as your coefficients. X and y are your variables. C is any constant. C can be 0, it's just a constant. Okay, C is a constant and you equate them to 0. So just like a linear equation, ax plus by plus cz is equal to 0. Here there is no z, ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, where a and b are the coefficients and c, what is c? C is just a constant. So just remember this using your linear equations. Okay. Now one important thing, a and b are not 0. This is very important. From this general equation also you can have another formula of slope. What is the formula going to be? The formula of slope is minus coefficient of x upon coefficient of y. This is the formula of slope. What is the coefficient of x? A, and what is the coefficient of y? Is b and minus. So minus a by b is also your slope. So that means that your minus a by b is also going to be equal to tan theta. Simple. So whenever we are given a line in the general form ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, where a is the coefficient of x, b is the coefficient of y, the slope is minus coefficient of x upon coefficient of y or minus a by b. So suppose I have a line here, taking an example, 9x minus 3y plus 6 is equal to 0. What is the slope? the slope is minus coefficient of x upon coefficient of y. Okay, and compare this to the equation ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. What is the value of a? The coefficient of x is 9, so 9 upon what is the coefficient of y is b, and b is your minus 3, and here's another minus gone, 9 by 3, which is 3. Simple. Okay, so if a line is simply given to you, you don't have to worry about finding the theta and all for the slope. You can simply understand the slope is minus a by b, where a and b are the coefficients of the x and y. Okay, minus a by b is going to be your slope if a general equation of line is given. Okay, where a and b are simple coefficients of x and y. So if directly a line is given now, you can directly find the slope without any angle, without any formula. Just apply minus a by b and you will get the slope. Okay, the slope is tan theta only. Always the slope is tan theta, but this is another way to find it. Alright. Okay. Next. Equation of horizontal and vertical lines and coordinate axis. Okay. So first of all, these two equations you already know. If I have to write the equation of y-axis will be, every point on the y-axis will be of the form x is 0, 0 comma y. X will always be 0, no, there will be no x component. And simply on x-axis, everywhere the y component will be 0, because there will be no y part in the x-axis. When there is no x part in the y-axis, there will be definitely no y part in the x-axis. That's very simple. Okay. This I have also done in detail in my coordinate geometry class, so you can watch it there as well. Now this, coming to this more important part, equation of a horizontal and vertical line. So just before going to the formulae, understand your coordinate system once again. Okay, this is my complete coordinate system. If I talk about a vertical line means this, any line which is parallel to the y-axis is a vertical line. Now you already know from your coordinate geometry that any line which is parallel to y-axis, the y part will always be same. No, sorry, if any line is parallel to the y-axis, the x part will always be same, only the y will change. No, why? How to understand this? Simple. This point, suppose I am taking this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 9. X is 9. Y is changing. Y can be 1, 2, 3, 4. Y can be minus 1, it can be minus 5, it can be minus 20, anything. But the x will always be 9. Then only it will be parallel to the y-axis. No, parallel and equidistant if the x is always equal to 9. So that means for any vertical line, any line which is vertical is parallel to y-axis, your x component has to be constant. It can be 0 also, then it is the x-axis, y-axis, but it has to be a constant. X will be same, y will change, then it will be parallel to the y-axis and it will be called a vertical line. Okay, so coming back to this, equation of vertical line having distance b from a y-axis is either x equal to b or x equal to minus b. That means simply x is your constant. Okay, simply no, x equal to b or x equal to minus. What is b? B is this point, 9. Here x is equal to 9. Now similarly, when you take the case of a vertical line, of a horizontal line. Okay, now we'll take the horizontal line. We have taken the case of vertical line. Now when I take the case of horizontal line, this is my horizontal line. Okay, in this horizontal line, you already know this is parallel to your x-axis. This is parallel to your x-axis. So suppose the point on y here is 5, x will keep on changing, 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 1, minus 2, etc. But the y will always be 5. Y will always be 5. That means y will always be a constant. Isn't it? So whenever I talk about a line in which y will always be a constant, that line will always be a line parallel to the x-axis. Parallel means equidistant also. Same distance. All the points on this line will have the same distance of 5 from the x-axis and it will be parallel from the x-axis. Isn't it? That means y will always be 5. Y will always be a constant, but x will keep on changing. Then this line will be parallel to y-axis and it will be called a horizontal line. So what is the equation that means of horizontal line? Equation of a horizontal line having distance a from the x-axis is either y equal to a or y equal to minus a. Simply speaking, y is equal to constant. So if line has to be parallel to your x-axis, that means it has to be a horizontal line, your y has to be a constant. If it is below, parallel and below, if it is like this here below, then x is y is equal to minus a. If it is above, y is equal to a. Okay, simply speaking, in the Cartesian plane. This also I have explained in my coordinate geometry class, but you can still understand from these figures that whichever axis it's parallel about, the other axis has to be constant, then only it will be parallel and equidistant. That's the main equation. Okay, that's how you find it. What are the questions? Write the equation of a horizontal line which has the distance 5 units from x-axis. So horizontal line y is equal to 5. Simple. That's how you're going to do. So I have not taken any questions on this because it's very simple. Okay. So now we will take up a question on general equation of line. This equation, these were some particular cases. Now this general equation ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. We'll discuss how to get a question, how to solve the slope, everything from this equation. Let's do it. Alright, so just a second, we'll take up the question a little later because for that question we need to understand a bit of the other forms as well. Then we'll take the question on general equation. Okay. Alright. The next form of equation, now we will be taking different forms of equation. Now first we have taken up the general equation, now we will talk about different forms of equation of a line. Let's understand. The first form is point slope form. What do you mean point slope? Just understand from the name. Point means it is passing through a point. Say suppose x comma y, it passes through. And slope you already know is your tan theta, or it's equal to your m, the slope. So how do you write the equation of point slope form? Y minus y naught is equal to m of x minus x naught. That's the formula for point slope form. Y minus y naught is equal to m of x minus x naught. Okay. Alright, let's try to understand where your x naught and y naught are the point. Y and x are the variables of the equation. Every equation will have an x and y. X naught, y naught will be given to you, which is the point through which the line passes, and m obviously you know is the slope it makes. y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, or tan theta, or minus a by b, all the formulas we have for slope. Okay, so your m will be your slope. Again I'm repeating, x naught, y naught will be the point on the line. Now if we talk about point on the line, definitely it will satisfy the line. No, this you know from your basics only, basics of maths. Any point on a line, suppose I have this point, this will satisfy the equation of the line because it's lying on the line. Okay, so x naught, y naught is any point on the line which will satisfy the line. Point on the line just means like your root of an equation. Root or zeros of an equation is something which where you put on x and y, you satisfy the equation. Similarly, point on the line is something when you put x and y, the point, it will satisfy the line. So your line is just an equation. Equation is for a line. That's what I try to make you understand. Okay, so x naught and y naught are the point on the line. M is the slope of the line, which we have understood how to find out. So what is the equation of line? One point and slope is given. Y minus y naught is equal to m of x minus x naught. X naught and y naught are the point. Okay, one important thing, all the equations, all forms which you write in equations of a line, in the end after solving have to be reduced to this form, which is your general equation. Okay, initially you can begin with this form if the question is getting this, but after solving x and y completely, after putting m, your final answer to an equation always has to be the general equation. Okay, no matter which way you start solving it, but finally it has to come out in this form. So this you remember, this is your key point. What is the key point? That all the equations you solve in the end have to come down to be the general equation in the end. Okay, no matter which way you solve it. We'll be learning many more ways as well after this. Okay, so this is your point slope form, one of the most important forms of the line. Question. Find the equation, this is again an example of the NCERT. Find the equation of line perpendicular to the line this and passing through the point 1, 2. Okay, alright. So again you can understand a point is given. So one point is given here. Slope is not given, but try to understand if I am given line is perpendicular to this line. Okay, perpendicular lines, I know how to get a condition for slope. m1 m2 is equal to -1, so I can easily find out my slope, isn't it? So let's take up this line, x minus 2y plus 3 is equal to 2, 0. This is your line. One line is given, you already know how to find the slope. How do you find the slope? Minus a by b, where a is the coefficient of x, b is the coefficient of y. This I just told you. Whenever you have a line, you can directly find the slope using the formula minus a by b. Use it. What is a here? A is 1, simply. B is minus 2. So 1 by minus 2, minus here, minus minus cancels. Your slope is 1 by 2. Slope of this line. Now our line, let's call it L1. Our line L1 is perpendicular to L2. Let this be L2. The line which we want to find is perpendicular to this, so that means it is going to be L2, a different line. And you already know for perpendicular lines you have the condition m1 is equal to minus 1 upon m2. So what is your slope of line going to be? The slope of a required line is minus 1. Sorry, it is going to be minus of 1 upon 1 by 2, which is going to be 2. Reciprocal of 1 by 2 is 2. So minus 2. This is the slope of my line. Okay, this is the slope of your required line. So now you have the slope, you have the point. What was the point? 1 comma minus 2. This is given to you. So point is 1 comma minus 2. And now you will find the equation using this point slope form. What was the equation? Y minus y naught is equal to m x minus x naught. So y minus y naught is minus 2, y minus minus 2 is y plus 2 is equal to m minus 2 x minus x naught. What is x naught? 1. Okay. Solve it. Now you have to bring it to the general form. Minus 2x plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 gets cancelled. Y is equal to minus 2x or y plus 2x is equal to 0. Okay, that's your answer. Simple. Alright, so you can see the entire question. I'll zoom it a bit more so that you can see it. So your answer to this question is y plus 2x is equal to 0. So try to understand, whenever I am given a point and I can find the slope using any condition that is given to me, it's not necessary that the slope will be given directly. I'll use my point slope form. Y minus y naught is x equal to mx minus x naught. Here a perpendicular line was given to the line, and you already know if a perpendicular or parallel line is given, I can use my relation m1 is equal to m2 or n1 n2 is equal to minus 1, and I can find the slope. So using this equation we can find it easily. Alright, it was a good question we have taken. Okay, this you will already know, 2-point form. Now when line passes through one point, your formula is y minus y naught is equal to m of x minus x naught. This is through one point. Okay, now if it passes through 2 points, everything remains same. Your x naught and y naught can be any point. Okay, don't worry, out of the two it can be any. Just in case of m, you have already done slope of line through 2 points. If I have to find the slope of line through 2 points, we have done this formula. This is y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, which is here, and that's your equation. So y minus y naught is equal to mx minus x naught. That's the same thing you have to do here also. There's nothing changed. Just the simple thing is, if a line is passing through 2 points, the slope we can find using y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, which I just explained few slides back. So just the process of finding the slope changes. So slope process, you can use a different formula, but the formula, the general equation of the line is same. It's still the same formula. You don't have to learn this. Just remember the y minus y naught is mx minus x naught. For the m through 2 points, you have this formula which we discussed. That's how you'll find the m, the slope. That's it. Question. Find the equation of line passing through points this and this. Okay. Your x naught, y naught can be anything. So 2 equations may be possible if x naught, y naught are different. Okay. You can take x naught, y naught, anything. I generally prefer to take the first one. It's my preference. Okay. So how to find this equation? You already know y minus y naught is equal to m of x minus x naught. Just use your 1-point form only. Okay. And for the m, let's find out the m. y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. That means y2 minus 4 minus 1 minus 4 minus 1 upon x2 minus x1. 2 minus minus 1, that is 2 plus 1. Minus 5 upon 3. This is my slope. So what's my equation going to be? Y minus y plus y minus 1 is equal to minus 5 by 3 x minus 1 plus 1. Okay, because minus 1 here. X naught, y naught, I repeat again, can be any point. Solve this. Is going to be 3y minus 3 is equal to minus 5x minus 5. So 3y plus 5x minus 3 plus 5 plus 2 is equal to 0. That's your equation. I repeat again, any equation you start with has to come out to be in the end the general form. You have to pause your answer at this form. Okay, except for certain very specific cases, and until and unless in your option, if it's a multiple choice, until and unless in your option this is given, you have to wind up with this form only. Okay, so solve your form and bring it to ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. You'll get it. Fine, simple question. Alright, next form, very important, this many of you may be knowing also, slope intercept form. Now before we move to this form, what is an intercept? Simply try to understand. If I have my coordinate axis here, and if my line is not passing through the origin but it is cutting a point on any axis, okay, suppose it is cutting a point on my y-axis. Okay, let me just take one intercept at this time. Two intercepts will be taken later. Suppose it's cutting y-axis here, x-axis here. This may be the point 0 comma y, and this 0 comma a, let's write, and this will be point a comma 0, because any point on x-axis will have y0, any point on y-axis will have x0. We have done it in coordinate geometry. Okay, so a nahi, we'll write it as b. Okay, so this point a on the y-axis where it cuts the y-axis, this point b on the x-axis where the line cuts the x-axis are your intercepts. So what are intercepts? Intercepts simply are the points where the line cuts or touches the x and y-axis respectively. The point in which line cuts the x-axis is the x-intercept. The point in which the line cuts the y-axis is the y-intercept. Simply. Okay. Now how do you write your equation? Slope intercept means slope has to be there, intercept has to be there. Slope. Your equation is of the form y is equal to mx plus c, which is one of the most important ways of representing a straight line as well. Y is equal to mx plus c. Okay, where m is your slope and c is your intercept. Now if this is the intercept on y-axis. This intercept form has two forms, slope intercept form. I'll explain this. So if you're taking the y-intercept, suppose this one line is cutting the y-axis at point c, your equation is going to be y is equal to mx plus c. Now suppose you are taking the x-intercept. Okay, if you take the x-intercept and suppose the x-intercept is d, line is cutting the x-axis, here your line is cutting the x-axis at the point d comma 0. Okay, so x-intercept is d. What is the equation? Y is equal to mx is same. Instead of plus c, this becomes minus d. So it can be c also. Okay, just to differentiate the axis, I am taking d. The equation is y is equal to m of x minus d. The sign changes to a minus. That's it. So if your line is having an intercept on the y-axis, the equation is y is equal to mx plus c. Similar equation for x-intercept, if the line is cutting at x-axis on the point d, the x-intercept is d, y is equal to mx minus d. Okay, just there is a simple change of sign. Sign is changing, rest the equation is same. Fine. Slope is m, you can find it using all the methods which I have explained above. Okay, so this is your slope intercept form. Question. Write the equation of lines for which tan theta is 1 by 2, where theta is the inclination or the angle of the line, y-intercept and x-intercept is given. Alright, so your intercept and theta is given, from tan theta is your slope. You simply know that tan theta is your slope. Slope is tan theta, slope is minus a by b, slope is y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, they are all the slope. Okay, so tan theta or the slope is equal to half, and the x and y intercepts are given in separate cases. So in first case, your m is 1 by 2 and your c is your y-intercept is minus 3 by 2. This is 2. Okay, what's your equation? Y is equal to mx plus c, y is equal to m x by 2 minus 3 by 2. So y is equal to 2 LCM x minus 3. So 2y is equal to x minus 3. So 2y minus x plus 3 is equal to 0. Again, I repeat the same thing, ax plus by plus c equal to 0. Whether you start with any form, in the end you have to bring it to the form of ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. Okay. Alright, simply only this happened. Now y is equal to mx plus c, tan theta. Tan theta is the slope which is given to us, m, and c is the y-intercept which is given to us. Now second case is x-intercept is 4. Your slope is same. So m is your same, which is half. Whereas the x-intercept, the d, is your 4. Okay. What was the formula? Y is equal to mx minus d. Okay, minus d. This you remember the sign has changed. So this is going to be y is equal to x by 2 minus 4. Take the LCM. Y is equal to 2x minus 8. So 2y minus 8 plus x plus 8 is equal to 0 will be your equation. That's it. Okay. So slope will always be m, which is same, but if the x-intercept is given, we will subtract it. Y is equal to mx minus d. If y-intercept is given, we will add as y is equal to mx plus c. Okay, so this is your y-intercept form, this is your x-intercept form. So here in this form you will have the slope given to you and you will have the intercept given to you. Okay, I mean these two conditions will be there. If you have to find it also, but these two conditions you will be using. Now intercept form. Intercept form means I am taking both intercepts. Okay, I am taking both intercepts. So let's take the coordinate system first for this. Suppose I have a line. Okay, just a second. We need the line tool. Like this. It is cutting the y-axis at a particular y coordinate, that is b. X coordinate, it is a. It's cutting. So it is making intercepts on both axes. It's cutting both the axes y at point b and x at point a. So my y-intercept is the point where it cuts the y-axis, is your b, and my x-intercept is your a. So what is the equation? Your equation is x by a plus y by b is equal to 1. Okay, x by a plus y by b is equal to 1. Alright. Clear? That's your intercept form. So it's making a and b intercepts with both the axes. So the form of the equation is x by a plus y by b is equal to 1. Suppose you have like this an equation, x plus 2y is equal to 2. I have to find the intercept form. Now just remember this has to be 1. The constant in the end has to be 1. So divide this equation by 2. You will get x by 2 plus y is equal to 1. So 2 and 1 are your intercepts. Simple. Isn't it? So for any intercept form, the golden trick to do is the right hand side. Okay, x by a plus y by b has to be 1. If it's any constant, if it's 20, divide the equation by that constant, because you have to make this term 1. Okay, it's got hid. You have to make this term 1. Okay, the RHS of the intercept form has to be 1. Fine. RHS of the intercept form has to be 1. So x by a plus y by b is 1. If anything else or a constant is given, divide it by that constant and make the RHS of your equation as 1. Okay, find the equation of line that cuts off equal intercepts on the coordinate axis and passes to the point 2 and 3. Okay, this is a very good question. So what to do here? I have my line. First try to visualize this. This is not exactly a question of intercept form, but you will be using intercepts here because direct question of intercept form is very simple. Let me first take a direct question for you and then I'll go to this one. So my question is, find equation of line having x and y intercepts as 3 and 4. So what is your equation? X by a plus y by b is equal to 1. Okay, x intercept is 3, so x by 3 plus y by 4, y intercept is 4, is equal to 1. That's your equation in intercept form. But always, as I repeat, the equation has to be in the end converted to your general form. So what you can do simply is take the LCM here. LCM is 12. This is 4x plus 3y equal to 1. So 4x plus 3y is equal to 12. That is your equation of the line. Okay, because no matter which form you have, in the end your answer has to be the general equation. In this form, what we can only think about is taking the LCM and then we will get the ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. Okay, so your final answer always will be in that form only, the general equation. Okay, your final answer will be ax plus by form only. Okay, which we have done. Alright, so this was a direct question on how intercept form questions are there. Now moving to this question. Find the equation of line that cuts off equal intercepts on the coordinate axis. That means this is my line. Equal intercept in the sense this is A and this intercept is also A. Alright. The x-intercept is also A and y-intercept is also A. So now this equation, there was a little technical glitch for which I had to pause the video in between. So let us continue from where we were. We were talking about the equation of line that cuts off equal intercepts on the coordinate axis. Okay, that means the x-intercept is also A and the y-intercept is also A. Alright, so now just apply your intercept form first. Intercept form is x by A plus y by B is equal to 1. That means the intercept form will be, now here A is equal to B. If both the intercepts are same, A is equal to B. That is given here in the question only. A is equal to B. That means x by A plus y by A is equal to 1. Point is given 2, 3. That means x is equal to 2, y is equal to 3. Let's put it here. So 2 by A plus y by 3 by B, 3 by A, sorry, is equal to 1. That means 5 by A is equal to 1. So A is equal to 5. That means the intercept is equal to 5. Now you can put the value of A in your intercept form. In this equation, you can put the value of A and solve it. X by 5 plus y by 5 is equal to 1. Take the LCM because we have to report it in the form of the general equation. X plus y is equal to 1. So x plus y is equal to 5. Okay, that is your answer for the equation. Alright, you can also write it like this: x plus y minus 5 is equal to 0. That's also fine. That's also correct. Okay, so the thing to remember is when I talk about equal intercepts, that means both the x and y intercepts are same. That means x intercept is A, so y intercept is also A. Okay, then use your intercept form x and y. The point is given to you. The point is your x and y. It is given to you. You put it, then you find the value of the intercept and you give it in your general equation. That's it. Okay. Now, if the same point was given with the slope, we would have used point slope form here. Here it is given with the intercept, so we are using intercept form. Simple. Okay. The next equation of line that we are going to take up is the normal form. Okay, first I want you to take a 10-second and read this. Okay, what the normal form is, and now let us discuss about it. Okay, now whenever we talk about the normal form of equation of line, normal is always a perpendicular. Okay, sorry, what happened? Yeah, normal is always a perpendicular. Normal is always a perpendicular. Okay, so whenever we are writing the equation in normal form, that means in the form of a perpendicular, let's take up the coordinate system first to understand how we are going to talk about this normal form. So suppose this is my coordinate system and this is my line in the coordinate system. Okay, now what I need for the normal form is I need a perpendicular from the origin. See here, equation of line having normal distance p from the origin. That means I need to take a perpendicular from the origin. So let me take any perpendicular here from the origin. I'll take it with a different color. So I've taken a perpendicular from the origin and the distance of this perpendicular from the origin is p. That means p is the perpendicular distance. Okay, then I take an angle which is called omega, and omega is the angle made by the normal with respect to the positive x-axis. So omega is the angle made by normal, not the line, okay, with positive x-axis. Okay, here I get p and omega defined. This is a normal, so it's making a 90-degree angle with the line. Then what is the equation of this line? The equation of this line is x cos omega plus y sin omega is equal to That is the equation of this line, x cos omega minus y sin omega plus y sin omega is equal to p. What is p? P is the perpendicular distance from the origin to the foot or to the end of this normal on the line. This p is the normal on the line, the perpendicular distance. What is omega? Omega is the angle made by this normal p, this normal with respect to the positive x-axis. That's what your omega is. Okay, so x cos omega plus y sin omega is equal to p is the equation of line in normal form. Now one more thing, the derivation of this equation is very simple. Using trigo you can derive it, so you can see it in your NCERT or any other reference book, because this is a short video, short in the sense it's a one shot class, so we are not going to take up the derivation. Let us try to understand what the slope of this normal will be, slope of this line, sorry, what the slope of line will be in this case, because this is something which is very important. We need to understand the slope of the line. Now slope of the line, see, line is perpendicular to normal. That means slope of the line, S line, or S, no, slope is written by M, M line will be equal to minus 1 by M normal, because if lines are perpendicular, slope is M1 is equal to minus 1 upon M2. So let us find the slope of normal first. Slope of normal will be equal to tan omega, tan of the angle which it makes with the positive x-axis. So it is going to be tan omega, slope of the normal. Now what is tan omega going to be? It is going to be the perpendicular, okay, it is going to be the perpendicular upon base, and tan omega you can also write as sin omega by cos omega. You already know tan omega is sin omega by cos omega. This is just for your information. Okay, and sometimes we can write it in terms of sin and cos also. So slope of normal is tan omega, that's fine. So slope of line, that means will be minus negative reciprocal of the slope of normal. So minus 1 upon slope of normal is going to be the slope of line. That means the slope of normal is going to be minus 1 upon tan omega. What is 1 upon tan theta or tan omega? Is cot omega. So this is going to be minus cot omega. This is your slope of line. Alright, so that's an important thing. The equation of normal line in normal form with respect to a normal from the origin is x cos omega plus y sin omega is equal to p. This is your equation. You know this already because we have discussed it. Okay, what is the slope of this line? Line and normal are perpendicular to each other. So the slope of the line and slope of the normal are negative reciprocals of each other, because perpendicular case we are using. Slope of the normal is tan omega. Okay, so what is the slope of line going to be? Minus 1 upon tan omega, which is your cot omega. So cot omega is the slope of the line, where omega is the angle which is made by the normal. It's not the angle made by the line, it is the angle made by the normal with respect to the line. Okay, that's how you can find the slope. Alright, question. Find the equation of line whose perpendicular distance from the origin, that means normal form, is 4 units, and the angle which it normal makes with the positive value of x-axis is 15 degree. Perpendicular distance, if I am talking about my p. My p, perpendicular distance is p. My p is equal to how much? 4 units. And what is my angle? Angle by the normal means the omega. It is equal to 15 degree. Okay, 15 degree. Equation you have already learned, x cos omega plus y sin omega is equal to p will be my equation. That means it's going to be x cos 15 degree plus y sin 15 degree is equal to 4. That is my equation. Okay. Now cos 15 and sin 15, the method to find cos 15 and sin 15 we will be discussing in the trigonometry video. Very soon we are coming up with trigonometry. In that I will discuss how you need to find sin 15 and cos 15. For this video, just let's assume the values. Okay, the method is very simple, but for that you need to know a formula of trigonometry, which if you have not studied, if you have studied, very good, you will be understanding it very quickly. Okay, but I'll just write the values for the time being. Okay, you don't need to memorize it at all. I have not memorized it. Okay, I know this because I have just solved it before this video, because this is a method through which you will be able to easily solve. Okay, sin 15 means sine of 45 minus 30, like that we do it. It's a trigo formula which we will be taking up in the trigo video. So stay tuned for that. You'll be able to understand how to find this. So put these values, root 3 plus 1 by 2 root 2 into x plus root 3 minus 1 by 2 root 2 Okay, 2 root 2 it is going to be into y is equal to 4. Solve it and rationalize, you will get the equation in general form. Simple. So the main thing that I want to tell you is whenever we are given a normal or a perpendicular from the origin, line is like this and I am given a perpendicular from the origin, we will take the normal form. The normal form is x cos omega plus sine y sine omega is equal to p, where omega is the angle made by the normal with respect to the x-axis and p is the perpendicular distance from the origin to the point of the end of the normal on the line. Okay, now in the same question, if the slope of the line is asked, if I am asked the slope of the line, now easy way, if you are asked the slope of the line, once you find the equation, okay, you can easily calculate the slope once you find the equation by minus a by b, minus coefficient of x upon coefficient of y. Otherwise, how to find the slope? Otherwise, you can find the slope directly. We have discussed in normal form, the slope is minus cot omega. Okay, minus cot omega will be your slope. So this is going to be minus cot, how much is omega? 15. You can evaluate cot 15 and you will get the slope. So in such question of normal form, if the slope of the line only is asked, then you can directly use the formula of minus cot omega, which we just discussed how. This is the formula. I'll show you. This is the formula minus cot omega. How we got it, I have explained you. So if otherwise, you can find the equation and definitely you can get it from the equation. But directly also this can be done if you know the formula that slope is minus cot omega. That's it. Omega is the angle made by normal with the positive x-axis. Simple. Alright. Next topic. The next topic is angle between two lines. Okay. So suppose I have been given two lines. Any two lines. Does not matter how. Okay. Let's again do our same thing. Let's plot the coordinate system. Here I have my coordinate system. And I'll take two lines here on this coordinate system. We'll take it with orange. Okay, suppose my first line is this and my second line is this. Any two lines, doesn't matter. And I have to find out the angle between these two lines. This is my angle. Suppose this we are calling out to be alpha. Okay, let us call this angle to be alpha or theta, whatever. Let's call it theta only. Okay. Now, how do you calculate this theta? Simple thing to remember, to calculate this theta, we have to use the formula tan theta is m2 minus m1 upon 1 plus m1 m2. Okay, from that if you get tan theta or the slope, from the slope you can get the tan inverse. So, whenever you are asked about the angle, your aim is to find the tan theta or the slope. Okay, that is in the case of one line. Now here you have two lines, so here also you do the same thing. You have to find the tan theta, and the formula for tan theta is m1 minus m2 upon 1 plus m1 m2. Okay, m1 minus m2 upon 1 plus m1 m2, and from that you can get theta is equal to tan inverse of this. I told you whenever the trigonometric function will go on the other side, it becomes an inverse trigonometric function. If you are in class 11th right now, you can leave it in tan inverse. When you will come to 12th, you will know how to find inverse trigo values and you will be able to calculate if it's a appreciable value. Okay, that's how you get the angle. So I'll again repeat, the formula for angles is m2 minus m1 or m1 minus m2 upon 1 plus m1 m2. Okay, that is what? That is your theta. Theta is the angle between the two lines. Alright, now suppose I need to find this angle. Remember this angle. These are a linear pair. These two are on the same line. So this is a linear pair. This angle will be what? This angle will be minus 180 minus theta. Okay. So if I get theta, I can easily calculate my 180 minus theta. Okay. Now, if you have studied the formulas of trigonometry, you will be able to derive this angle formula easily. You should know, this is only for those who have studied trigonometry. Those who have not can refer to my trigonometry video and come back to this. Trigonometry video is coming very soon. Tan of a minus b formula is tan a minus tan b upon 1 plus tan a tan b. This is the formula of tan of a minus b. Okay. Tan a here will be the slope of the first line. Tan b will be the slope of the other line. Okay. That is why tan a can be written as m1, tan b can be written as m2 or m2 m1. So what is this going to be? Tan a tan b m1 m2. That's how this has come. If one angle is theta between two lines, the other angle is 180 minus theta. And tan, everything we are doing here is in terms of tan. So our principal function of trigo here is used as tan theta. So anything we are doing in terms of tan A minus b, 180 minus theta mein we put a minus b, and tan a minus b formula is tan a minus tan b upon 1 plus tan a tan b. Okay. And what are tan A? Tan A and tan B. Tan A and tan B are the slopes. So slope is tan theta for individual line. You replace it by the slope and you get this formula. That's how we get this formula of angle between the lines. So for getting the derivations are not asked, but just for the understanding. To get the derivation, you just need to know that this is a tan of A minus B formula, and tan A and tan B individually are your m1 and m2, because slope of a line is tan theta. So A is line 1, B is line 2. So tan A and tan B are the angles that it is making with the positive x-axis, and that is my slope. Okay. So to get this formula, the main thing that you need to understand is slope is tan theta. And secondly, when I'm talking about theta and 180 minus theta, which are the angles between the lines, I can use my formula of 1 instead of 180 minus theta, I can use the formula of tan A minus B. Tan A minus B is tan A minus tan B upon 1 plus tan A tan B. Simple. Okay. And then you will be able to replace tan A and tan B by m1 and m2, because slope is tan. Okay. And you will get this formula for angle. So the formula for angle is tan theta is equal to m2 minus n1 upon 1 plus m1 m2. Fine. That's the formula for slope. That's how you can calculate the, not the slope, the angle between two lines. Okay. And you will be able to understand how this works. I have not gone into very details of derivation, but I have told you the logic behind the derivation. Question. If the angle between two lines is pi by 4 and the slope of one of the line is 1 by 2, find the slope of the other line. Okay, let's do this one. See, angle between two lines is set, so let's use this formula. Tan theta is equal to m2 minus m1 upon 1 plus m1 m2, the mod, because we just want to make the theta positive, that's why we are taking the mod. What is given? This angle is pi by 4, theta is pi by 4. This is given to you. Slope of one line is given, that means m1 is given as 1 by 2. We have to find m2. Simple. So put tan pi by 4. Now from your degree radian, you will know pi by 4 is 45. Okay. So I'll write tan 45 here. Pi by 4 is 45 degrees. Okay. There's already a video on this channel regarding degree and radian. You can watch it. Is equal to m2 minus m1. m1 is 1 by 2. 1 plus m2 by 2. Okay. m1 is 1 by 2. No. So I have placed 1 by 2 here. That's my formula. Tan 45 is 1. So 1 is equal to m2 minus 1 by 2 upon 1 plus m2 by 2. Okay. 2 and 2 will take the LCM. This will get cancelled. So this will be 2m2. I'm just taking the LCM, minus 1 upon 2 plus m2 is equal to minus 1 is equal to 1. Okay, it's equal to 1. Alright, so 2m2 minus 1 is equal to 2 plus m2. We bring the m2 here. So 2m2 minus m2 is m2 is equal to 2 plus 1, that is 3. So your slope is 3. That's the first case, because I have my mod here. Now, if I talk about a mod, whenever you have a mod, you already know, whenever you have a modulus, you have to take positive and negative both. So please take the negative value also. The negative value here, the negative value simply is the 180 minus theta, that angle. Okay, negative value. So the negative value will be this, 2m2 minus 1 upon 2 plus m2, I'm taking is minus 1. Because I have to take the negative value also. Mod for both positive and negative is negative. So the angle can be negative also, it can be positive also. So 2m2 minus 1 is equal to minus 2 minus m2. So 3m2 is equal to minus 2 minus 1 minus 3. So m2 is, this is minus 2 plus 1 minus 1. So m2 is minus 1 by 3. So these values also there. So m2 is 3 or minus 1 by 3. Okay, these are the two values possible for m2. Alright. So the question is very simple. Angle between the lines is given, one slope is given. Just use the formula tan theta is equal to m2 minus m1 upon 1 plus m1 m2. You get the slope of the other line. Another thing here you have to remember is we are taking the modulus. Modulus for both positive and negative always gives a positive only. So you have to take into consideration both the positive value and the negative value, so that you can solve the modulus properly. Okay. Alright. Next question. Next topic. Now before we move to this, there is one thing I want to tell you about parallel and perpendicular lines. One more thing that I want to tell you about parallel and perpendicular lines. I have taken up the screenshot of that. Just a second. So I'll insert that photo. Just a second. There's some error in the photo. Alright, no problem. Let me write it here for you. Whenever lines are parallel, just remember, whenever lines are parallel, if I have two lines, ax1 plus by1 plus c1 is equal to 0, ax2 plus by2 plus c2 is equal to 0. Okay, two lines I have here, and I am talking that these two lines are parallel. You already know if lines are parallel, m1 is equal to m2. m1 is equal to m2, slopes are equal. What is the slope of line 1? Minus a by b minus a1 by b1. And what is the slope of line 2? Minus a2 by b2. Slope of line 1 is minus a1 by b1 and slope of line 2 is minus a2 by b2, minus coefficient of x upon coefficient of y. Cancel the minus signs, you will get a1 by b1 is equal to a2 by b2. This is the condition important. Whenever two lines in general form are given to be parallel, remember that a1 by b1 is equal to a2 by b2. That is the formula to be remembered if two lines are given parallel. Okay, in general form, the ratio of the coefficients will be same. Now when you are in class 12th, if you are in class 12th, you will know that these coefficients are also called the direction cosines of a line. I'm not going into that because that involves class 12th and vector knowledge, but just remember the ratio of a1 by b1 is equal to a2 by b2 has to be there. Then also two lines are parallel. Similarly, when I talk about perpendicular lines, if in the first line the slope is minus a1 by b1 and the second line the slope is minus a2 by b2, you know that in perpendicular lines m1 m2 is equal to minus 1. So minus a1 by b1 into minus a2 by b2 is equal to minus 1. Okay, or you can say minus a1 by b1 is equal to b2 by a2, minus b2 by a2. So what you get from here is minus a1 a2 is equal to minus b1 b2. Minus a1 a2 is equal to minus b1 b2. Minus minus cancelled. a1 a2 plus b1 b2 is equal to 0. That's what you get. Okay, there's a minus only in a1 a2. Sorry, this minus is not cancelled here. a1 a2 is plus b1 b2 is equal to 0. So this is the case for perpendicular. That means parallel में the condition is a1 by a2 is equal to a1 by b1 is equal to a2 by b2. The ratio of the coefficients is same if lines are parallel. If lines are perpendicular, then the multiplication and addition a1 a2 plus b1 b2 is equal to 0. The additive multiplication of the coefficients is 0 if the lines are perpendicular. When to use this? You use this when your general equation is given, the slope is not given. If the slope is given, then you can use the slope condition. Okay, the derivation of these conditions are done simply using your slope condition only. Just that we are taking the case of general equation. Now moving to this point now, distance between parallel lines. So whenever two lines are given, first you try to understand whether they are parallel or not. If they are parallel, your A-B ratio and A2-B2 ratio will be same, then only the two lines will be parallel. Okay. If they are parallel, what is the formula of distance between them? Suppose I have two parallel lines like this. How to get this distance D? The formula is D is equal to C1 minus C2 upon under root A square plus B square. Try to understand mod. Now the mod I am taking here is because distance always is positive. Distance can never be negative. Okay, C1 and C2 are the constants. In parallel lines the constants will be different, but your A1 A2 will be same because your ratio A1 by B1 is equal to A2 by B2. If the ratio has to be same, then A1 A2 and B1 B2 has to be same. A1 must be equal to A2, B1 must be equal to B2. Then only the lines will be parallel. No, only the constant will be different because this condition we have just derived. So the distance formula between two parallel lines is C1 minus C2 upon under root A square plus B square. A and B are same for both the lines because the ratio has to be same, then only they will be parallel. Okay, only the constant C is different. So the question is find the distance between parallel lines. So let's ignore the word parallel. Let's find out whether lines are parallel or not. Okay. So here the A1 is 15. Here A1 is 15. A is same. B is 8. B is 8. They are parallel. You can understand easily. 15 by A1 by B1. 8 is equal to A2 by B2. 15 by 8. This condition is there. That means they are parallel. Okay. So they are parallel lines. Okay. This we have proved from here. How to prove parallel? The coefficient ratios of both the lines must be same. In AX plus BY plus C is equal to 0. For both the lines, this AX and BY, A and B must be same. The C can be different. Then they are parallel. Now use your formula for distance. C2 minus C1. What is C2? 31 minus 30 minus 34. C2 is C1 is minus 34. These are your C's, no? The constants. Constant terms. Modulus upon under root a square plus b square. So 31 minus 34 is 31 plus 34, that is 65 by under root a square. What is a? 15 square. 15 square plus b square is 8 square. Okay, I hope you have understood this. This is going to be 15 square plus 8 square. Alright, so this is going to be 65 upon under root 225 plus 64. 65 upon under root 220 plus 62, 85, 289, and that's your answer. Of course, in units you will write. Distance is always measured in units. 65 by under root 289. Okay, I hope this is clear. And obviously 289 is a perfect square of 17 also, so you can write it 65 by 17. 65 by 17 you can write because 289 is a perfect square, no? That's it, that's your answer. 65 by 17 units is your answer. Okay, so the formula is simple. C1 minus C2 upon under root a square plus b square. The thing is to identify whether the lines are parallel or not. If they are parallel and ax plus by plus c is 0, a and b of both the lines must be same, then only the ratio will be same. That is the condition we have derived. Fine, that's how you get the distance. Very important. Distance of a point from a line. You have been given any arbitrary point. Suppose I have my line here. Okay. Okay, I have my line here and I have a point here. I have to find this distance between the point and the line. What is the formula? Line obviously is ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. This is a line, ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. And what is the point? You can ignore this. The point is x and y, x1 or y1, x0, y0, anything, any arbitrary point. The formula is d is equal to d is equal to modulus ax1 plus by1 plus c upon under root a square plus b square. Now see, whenever you have the formula for distance, under root a square plus b square always is there in the denominator. What is there in the numerator here? Ax1 plus by1 plus c. C is the constant of the line, and what are x1, y1? x1, y1 are your point which we are talking about. That is my distance formula. Why am I taking the mod? Because distance always will be a positive answer. Okay, distance has to be a positive answer, so I am taking a mod here. Okay, so simple thing, I have been given a point. I have to find the distance of the point with respect to the line. Line is what in general equation? Ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, and point is x1, y1, any arbitrary point. So what is the formula for distance? Ax1 plus by1 plus c upon under root a square plus b square. So this is my point, no, x1, y1. This is your point, and this is your line. Ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, and that's how you get the distance. Take it in modulus to get the positive answer, because distance always is positive. Question. Find the distance of the point minus 1 comma 1. So that is x1 y1 is minus 1 comma 1 from the line this. Now this line is a general equation form only, it has been given, just that we have to multiply and rearrange the terms a bit. Let's do it here. 12x plus 72 is equal to 5y minus 10. So 12x equal to 5y minus 10 minus 70 minus 82. So 5y minus 12x minus 82 is equal to 0. That means a is your 5 B is your minus 12, C is minus 82, and distances and your x1 y1 is given. What is the formula of distance? Ax1 plus by1 plus c upon under root a square plus b square is the formula for my distance. Of course, this you will take in the mod. So multiply a is 5 and x1 is minus 1, minus 5, b is minus 12, x2 is 1, minus 12 plus c is minus 82, minus 82 upon under root a square plus b square, under root a square. What is a square? 25, b square is 12 square, 144. So this is going to be 169. 25 plus 144 is 169. Root 169 is 13. Minus 5 minus 12 minus 82. Minus 12 minus 82 will be minus 94. Minus 5 is minus 99. Yeah, minus 99 upon under root 169. Root 169 is your 13. Minus 99 by 13. Modulus, your distance has to be positive, so you take it as 99 by 13 units. Can we cut it? No, we cannot cancel it. That's your answer. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. There is one small error we have done here. Your A is what we take with X. A is what we take with X. So this had to be minus 12 into minus 1. This had to be plus 12. This had to be plus 12. Isn't it? I think we have done a small error here, that this has to be of the form AX. So this has to be 12x. Your line will be 12. Your line is going to be 12x minus 5y plus 82 is equal to 0. I'm so sorry, there's a small error we have done, in fact a huge error. So let's quickly just change this. The denominator is fine, denominator will be 169 only. Okay. Your numerator will be AX. A is your minus 12. Okay, A is your 12. So 12 into minus 1. This is going to be minus 12 plus by y into minus 5 plus 82. So 12 minus 12 minus 17 plus 82. So 82 minus 10 is 72, minus 62 plus 3 is 65. So this is 65 by 13. Okay, this is 65 by 13, which is 5. Okay, 5 units is your answer. Okay, that was the error. I'm so sorry for the error. The error was simply that the equation of line is ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. So a is going to be with x. By mistake we took a with y there. Okay, that happens sometimes. Please take care of it. Okay, your equation is ax plus by plus c is equal to 0. I'm actually speaking for a long time, so that's why I got this error. Sorry for that. Alright, so whenever you are given a point x1, y1 and you are given a line ax plus by plus c is equal to 0, your distance of the point and the line is going to be ax1 plus by1 plus c upon under root a square plus b square. Take the distance to be positive because distance can never be negative. Report your answer in units, that is very important. Alright. Okay, the next topic is, how many topics we are left with? Just 2 more topics are left with, and then we'll be done with this chapter. Collinear points. Now tell me, whenever I talk about collinear points, that means they are on the same line. Collinear means they are lying on the same line. That's the meaning of collinear. You can see point A, point B and point C in this figure. They are lying on the same line. That means they are collinear. There are innumerable number of ways to put points are collinear. You can put area of triangle is 0. You can put AB plus BC is equal to AC. Lots of methods are there. But using slopes, let us discuss what the method is using slopes. So you just have to be aware of this method. So using slope, what the method is, if collinear points lie on the same line, that means AB is a line segment between A and B and BC is a line segment between B and C. But all these points are collinear. If they lie on the same line, the slope of all the line segments on the same line will be same. If these both are on the same line, the angle made by this segment will be theta with the x-axis is also make theta only. That means the slope will be same. The slope of AB will be equal to slope of BC. Now one important question. Okay, first I hope you have understood again. If I am talking about these 3 points are on one line and they are collinear using slope. If they are on one line, that means AB and BC both are on the same line. Okay, that is AC. Line is AC. So slope of the line segment AB and slope of the line segment BC will be same. What is the reason? If they are on the same line, they will definitely make the same angle only, no, with the x-axis. They are line segments in the same large line. This is your large line in which the small line segments are there. So the angle made by the small line segments with the x-axis will be same only. So the slopes is same. If angle is same, tan theta is same, slope is same. That's how you put the points are collinear. One thing that you will have in your mind is if the slopes are same, aren't they parallel? Why are we talking about them as collinear? The thing is, both of these lines have a common point P. They have a same slope and a common point P. And if they have a common point with the same slope, that means they are collinear. If they just have a same slope with no common point, that means they are parallel. And if a common point is also there, that means they are lying on the same line and they are collinear. So for collinear, you have to have number one, same slopes on the line segment. Number one. Number two is common point. Same slope, so you have understood they are segments, they'll make the same angle with the axis. The more important point is they must have a common point also. No, then only we can say 3 points are on line. So this is making the same slope B, AB is making the same slope, BC is making the same slope, and it has B in common. That means they are all lying on the same line. Otherwise, they are parallel. Okay, that's how you can understand. So let's quickly read it. We can know the slopes of two parallel lines are equal. If the lines having the same slope pass through a common point, then they will coincide, and hence they are 3 points. They will lie on the same line. The points are collinear if only slope of AB is equal to slope of BC and a common point B is present. Fine. That's it. This is from your NCERT. I've taken this content. Question. Line passes through 2 points. This you can take it as A and B. Okay. If slope of line is m, show that k minus y is equal to m h minus x1. Okay. How to do this? Line is passing through 2 points. Line passing through 2 points means 2 points are collinear, no? Line passes through 2 points in the sense the 2 points are collinear only, no? Then only the line will pass through 2 points, no? Points are collinear. Okay. If they are collinear, these 2 points, the slope of the line through this point is m. Okay, the slope of the line through this point is m. x1, what is the slope? If line is passing through 2 points, the slope of the line through 2 points will be y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, and that is given to me as m. Let's take this y2 minus y1 and let's take this x2 and let's take this y2 and x1, that is x1 and y1. That means k minus y1 is equal to h minus x1, that is m. So you can easily cross multiply this here and you will get k minus y1 is equal to m h minus x1, hence proved. Okay. The same thing here. It is not much concept of collinearity in this question, but this question is just a question on line through 2 points. Whenever line is passing through 2 points, say A and B, that means if a line is passing through 2 points, the 2 points are collinear. Okay. The slope of line passing through 2 points is y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Okay, that's the slope of line passing through 2 points, y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. You find the 2 points slope, and the slope here is given m, and then you can rearrange or whatever they have asked in the question, and you will be able to prove that they are collinear. Okay, let me take a more specific question on this concept of collinearity now. The question is 3 points, because here we are talking about 3 points, no? H comma k, this is your point P, then your x1 comma y1, this is your point Q, x2 comma y2, this is your point R. Okay, they are collinear. This is given to you, they are collinear. This is given to you. Show h minus x1 into y2 minus y1 is equal to k minus y1 into x2 minus x1. Actually, this question was to be printed here. By mistake, the other question came. So no problem, we discussed that also. Let's discuss this one now. So 3 points are given to you, collinear. So if they are collinear, you already know the slopes are same. Slope of PQ is equal to slope of QR, and they have a point in common, that is Q, so they are collinear. Let's find slope of PQ through point form, y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. This is going to be y1 minus k upon Now let's take this one like this, okay? Because k minus y1 form we have to take, no? So we will take this one as the first point, this as the second point. K minus y1, because the question asks in the form of k minus y1, otherwise it doesn't matter, is equal to h minus x1. This is equal to the slope of this line. Slope of these two, okay, these two will be again y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1 upon cross multiply k minus y1 into x2 minus x1 is equal to y2 minus y1 into h minus x1. That's it. Hence 2. Done. Simple. 3 points are given collinear. That means slope of the two line segments PQ and QR will be same, and they have a point Q in common. Q is common. That's why they are collinear. Put the slope same, slope through 2 point y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1 formula you have learned. Put them same, you get the equation. Equation, no, the relation that you needed. Okay, that's what you have to do. All right. The last concept for this chapter and this straight lines is foot of perpendicular and perpendicular distance. Okay, so let us do this concept as well. Just a second, I'll drink a bit of water and then we'll continue. Okay, so actually I'm so sorry, I had to drink some water, so that's why it took a bit of time. Okay, all right. Now foot of perpendicular and perpendicular distance. First of all, let's understand what we mean by these things, and then we will talk about how to get through them. So suppose you have a line here in your coordinate system, okay, a line PQ, and you have a perpendicular given to it. You have a perpendicular that is, suppose your x, y. This is your perpendicular. Okay. Now what is the meaning of foot of perpendicular? Foot of perpendicular means the last point of the perpendicular, that means this point y. Point y is my foot or the end point of the perpendicular. What I have to do here in this concept is I have to find the coordinates of this foot of perpendicular. Okay, I have to find the coordinates of foot of perpendicular, number one, and second I have to find the perpendicular distance. How to find the coordinates we'll understand, but just before, tell me, suppose I take the coordinates of this foot of perpendicular as x1 and y1, how do you get the perpendicular distance? And suppose this point is x2 and y2. Okay, what do you mean? You have got the coordinates of this point, you have got the coordinates of this point from which the perpendicular is drawn. How do you get the length of this perpendicular? That means this P, the length of the perpendicular or the perpendicular distance. How do you get it? You have 2 points, the length, the distance between 2 points, distance formula. Length ke liye you just need the distance formula, which we have done in coordinate geometry video, is under root x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. That's what you need to do. So whenever a foot of perpendicular and perpendicular distance is asked, first you have to find the coordinates of foot of the perpendicular. How to do that, we'll just understand. Second thing that you have to do, once you get the coordinates of foot of perpendicular and you know this point will be given to you from which the perpendicular is drawn, the 2 points on the end and the 2 ends of the perpendicular will be there, and the length of the perpendicular is the distance between 2 points. These 2 points, the distance between these 2 points is the length of your perpendicular. How do you get the distance between 2 points? Using your distance formula. So perpendicular distance will always be done using the distance formula. Now let us understand how do you find the foot of perpendicular, and that we will understand through a question. Okay, because otherwise it is a little tricky to explain it. So we'll understand it, not explain in the sense, understand it. We'll understand it using a question. Find the coordinates of foot of the perpendicular from point this to the line this. Okay, quickly let's draw the figure first and then we will do the question. Okay, this is my line and this is my perpendicular. Okay, these are not very good figures, so let's draw it once again. This is my line and this is my perpendicular to the line. Oh my goodness, what is happening? Yeah, that's fine now. I'm sorry for these glitches. Okay, this is my line and this is my perpendicular from the line which is given. I have to find the coordinates of the foot of perpendicular. So perpendicular is drawn from point x, which is -1, 3, to point, suppose let's assume this as q. This is your foot of perpendicular and this is my line, which is given as 3x minus 4y minus 16 is 0, which is the general equation of the line. Okay, now try to understand. If I talk about, we'll take it as p, okay, pq, this is a perpendicular to the line. No, that means this is perpendicular to your line L1. Isko we'll take as line L1. PQ is perpendicular to line L1. Now you know for perpendicular cases, what is the condition on slope? MPQ, slope of PQ is equal to -1 upon slope of line L1. Okay, let's find the slope. You'll understand the procedure once we complete it. Slope of line is given, slope of line is minus a by b. So M L1, slope of line is minus a by b, formula we have done, minus 3 by b is minus 4, this gets cancelled, 3 by 4. Okay, slope of line is 3 by 4. Now slope of PQ. PQ you know is the line through 2 points P and Q. P is given to you, Q you can take as x1 and y1, which is basically your foot of perpendicular. Okay, so your slope of PQ will be y minus 3 upon x plus 1 is equal to 3 by 4. This is given to you. Solving this, 4y minus 12 is equal to 3x plus 3. That means your 4y minus 3x is equal to 3 plus 12. That is your 15. 4y minus 3x is equal to your 15. Okay. Oh, I'm so sorry. There's another error we have done here. If the slope of line is given and the line is perpendicular to the point, that means the slope of this line is -1 upon the slope of the perpendicular is -1 upon the slope of line. So that means this is equal to -4 by 3. Okay, -4 by 3. Now you multiply 9y minus 9, 3y minus 9 is equal to -4x minus 4. That means 3y plus 4x is equal to -4 plus 9, that is 5. That is the equation you have got. Okay, because the perpendicular and the line are perpendicular to each other. So m1 is equal to -1 upon m2. m2 is the slope of the line which we got, and then you negative reciprocal of this is equal to slope of the foot of perpendicular which we have taken here, and we get this relation. What is this? This is a relation. Alright. Now you know this is my relation to the perpendicular. Now what you know is you have this point P, and this point P lies on perpendicular. This point P is lying on your perpendicular. Okay, and this point x1 comma y1, which is your foot of the perpendicular, lies on your line. If any point lies on the line, the point is bound to satisfy it. Like if any root of the equation will satisfy the equation, any point on the line will satisfy the line definitely. That means this is my first equation. My second equation will be, I'll put x and y in my this equation. Okay, now x and y is already there in the equation, so we can put a and b. Okay, let's take it as a and b because x and y we have in the equation. So you will have the equation as 3a plus, no, not, let's take an x and y only, it says no problem. The x and y you put here, you will get 3x, x is as it is because we are directly putting the x only in the line. Okay, 3x plus in y we will put 4y. Okay, or is it -4y? What is it? Let's see. -4y, 3x minus 4y, and you have -16 is equal to 0. That means 3x minus 4y is equal to 16, and 3y plus 4x is your, we'll write it like this, just a second. The other equation was 3y plus 4x. I'm sorry, I don't know why this error is happening. Some issue with this board. So 4x and you have your 3y is equal to 5. Two equations are there. Solve the two equations. You can solve this using the elimination. Okay, you can solve this using the elimination method and you will get the values of x and y. What will be the values of x and y on solving this? I'll tell you the values. Okay, I'm not going into solving this because it's going to consume time. You can simply solve it using elimination method. You multiply this by 3, you multiply this by 4 and you solve the equations. You will get the value of x is equal to, let me just find out, the value of x will be 68 by 25 and value of y will be 49 minus 49 by 25, and these will be your foot of perpendicular. That's your answer. The answer is not important here. The procedure is what I want you to understand. Just understand once again. Let me explain. We have a line and a perpendicular to it. The coordinates of the foot of the perpendicular are x comma y, okay, or a comma b, whatever you want to take. The first thing you should know, this perpendicular and the line are perpendicular to each other. A perpendicular will always be perpendicular to a line. So the slope relation you can use, m1 is minus 1 upon m2. You find the slope of both of them and you equate them. You will get one equation. Second equation is the perpendicular lies on a line. Any point that lies on a line will satisfy it, just like any equation. Any point will satisfy the line. This x comma y will satisfy my this line. Okay, I put x comma y as it is here. I get this equation. I have two equations now in x and y. I'll solve them by any method I know and I'll get the coordinates of the foot of perpendicular. Okay, the concept of perpendicular slopes is most important, from which you will get the coordinates of this foot of perpendicular. Okay, this is my foot of perpendicular to from a point to a line, and that's how I'm going to find the coordinates of this foot of perpendicular. Okay, that's how you can do it. You can take up some more questions on this as well. I can give you some more questions on practice in some short video and you can do it. Alright, so that's how you do this foots of perpendicular to a line. Okay, with that, all the important concepts of this chapter, the questions are covered. This chapter we have cracked very well. Straight lines, extremely important chapter for all exams. We have done it well. You can take a bit of relaxation now. Practice NCERT questions. You can practice questions from the PYQs of the respective exams you are studying and you will be able to do this very well. In case you need a exclusive question video and more questions, we have covered lots of questions, at least 15 questions we have covered in this video. If you want more question videos, you can comment it. We can do that as well. Okay, the next chapter that we will be doing on this series is going to be differentiation. Okay, differentiation, basic tools of differentiation that we need to understand different mathematical aptitude tests. Okay, in detail we will be doing differentiation and covering it as well. Even 11th class students can watch it because it's going to be a very important level differentiation and very introductory level differentiation, which is sufficient for the exam. I'm not talking about JEE here and boards here, because for that you need detail. Okay, which is also there on this channel. You can watch. Differentiation is covered already, most of the concepts. But the differentiation that you need for SAT, ACT, BITSAT, then you for your CLAT, okay, and your basic mathematics for NEET, you need differentiation extremely well, which we will be doing in the next session. Okay, thank you so much. 2 videos are already done, straight lines and coordinate geometry. Please watch them. Please practice the questions and you will be extremely good at coordinate geometry and straight lines. Okay, thank you so much for joining this session. Take care, stay safe, stay happy, and we will meet in the next session and continue. Thank you.